The Wizards had the 21st best record in the league, the 12th best record in the East, and the 23rd best net rating. Washington are kind of in a weird situation. They're not very good, but they're not bad enough to get a top pick. The Bradley Beal situation still hangs over them, and unless they make a move, they're gonna need this pick to be very impactful to change the direction of this franchise. So, who are they likely to select? Well, I've scoured the internet for mock drafts to gain information and selected 4 players I think have a chance to be selected by them, and I'm gonna give you some info on them. So, without any further dilly-dallying, let's get into it. Let's start with Johnny Davis out of Wisconsin. If a few things break right for Davis, I could see him being a very solid to even pretty good player for a long time. The shot is a concern for some, but it looks good, he shot it well from the line, and he was good in the mid-range. The worries about his athleticism are a bit overblown for my liking. He's not a plus athlete, but I definitely don't think he's a bad athlete either. He's never really going to be a primary facilitator, but there's passing potential there. The physical tools on the defensive end are limited, but he shows great heart and passion, and was pretty productive at the college level as an off-ball defender. His defensive production should also go up as his offensive responsibilities decrease, which will inevitably happen because he did everything for Wisconsin. The scoring package is where things get really interesting though. He's a sniper from the mid-range and is very crafty and smart with the way he gets his shots off. Him and Brad Beal would make a lethal scoring duo, even if the defense and playmaking would be a bit lacking. The real fun with this pick comes if Beal is traded though. Then, I think we could really see Davis flourish. Next, let's talk about AJ Griffin out of Duke. The Wizards had the second least 3-pointers taken last season, and the 5th worst efficiency. That meant they made the least 3s per game. Griffin should definitely help with that. He was an elite shooter during his time at Duke. He made shots off the catch and pulled up from all around the perimeter. Yeah, he does have a bit of a funky shooting stance, but it works for him. He should be able to make shots from the jump. There isn't much reliable shooting on the wing for Washington outside of Kispert and maybe Hachimura, so he should get some minutes purely because of that. He showed flashes of good burst and explosion, but they were few and far between. I suspect that was as a result of his past injuries. I mentioned this in my full report on him, but those injuries either held him back from reaching his full potential, or they may end up limiting that potential altogether. Time will tell with that. That is where the upside lies though. Defensively, I like his frame and general strength, but his feet are slow and his hands aren't particularly active. He's gonna need to put in some work on that end to ensure that he ends up as a true two-way wing. The Wizards could really use one of those. Next, let's talk about Dyson Daniels out of the G League Ignite program. Daniels' perimeter defense is really good. He's a competitor and has the size and anticipation to be a real pest out there. He's also very switchable and can guard anyone from small guards to mid-sized wings. He would be a great addition next to Brad Beal, who, let's be honest, is a below average defender. He's an artist in the pick and roll, and his general playmaking instincts are of a pretty high level. Again, the fit with Beal works as he can take on more of the fit with Beal here works as he can take on more of the playmaking responsibility and free up Beal to work off the ball. He also just makes the right play a lot of the time and does the little things right. The jump is very iffy and he struggles scoring at the rim. He's also not very athletic, so he can't really lean on that too much. The downside is a bit scary, but the upside could be one of the best role players in the NBA at his peak. Lastly, let's talk about Jeremy Sochan out of Baylor. Sochan is a high ceiling, low floor player. That profile should be very appealing to the Wizards, who should be big fish hunting considering the state of their franchise. He's got good size and intensity, he's very smart, and flashed some really tasty traits. He's extremely versatile as a defender and can maybe guard positions 1 through 5 if he gains a little more muscle. His long arms and great anticipation make him a headache to have to deal with, and his awareness off the ball was great. The Wizards are on the bottom third for defensive rating, so he will really help them improve in that area. He's also got some passing potential that I'm really interested in, and his ball handling showed some life as well. That's where the real high-level role player upside lies. He also plays with a lot of heart and is a guy who leaves it all on the court. The jumper is iffy and he's not the most crafty at the basket. The jumper in particular will need to improve to be a solid role player, but if it does, the Wizards could be getting a real gem here.